bell housing. After taking some measurements, I was able to figure I was 0.095, or even if you're going to round it up, 10 thou off. And this is the direction that I'm off in. So I ordered 7 thou offset dowel pins, and hopefully I can install them and clock them to that direction and get me down to 3 or 2, and I'll be pretty happy with the alignment at that point. So, did you get the bell housing aligned? What happened? Was it right? Alright, so the dowel pin removal hasn't been going smoothly. Vice grips, pipe wrench, I can get it to spin, but that's about it right now. So I'm gonna try and drill and tap it. So I got the 1/4 inch drill into the depth that I need, and now I can run the tap through it and put this thread of rod in. Alright, so tap the thread, and already measured my depth with the tape, so I know how far it's going to go, or expect it to go. So I'll run this down. I'm just going to run this socket down on here and load it up with some washers, vice grips, and some people have luck with that, but these ones definitely didn't want to go anywhere. I'm just going to use a couple of, I'm going to double up on the bolts here, so it gives me a little more purchase, because I don't think they'd be far off stripping. So here we go. I got 3 bolts on this, 3 nuts on this, and I'm just gonna run it down with this tube socket. And it's hard to do it one-handed, and it's biting a little bit now. And it's either gonna pull it out or it's gonna strip the thread. I don't really know where to tell them. Just never know. This rod's so thin, I think it's coming out. And feels loose. There it is. Awesome. Too easy. That's a little warm. Yeah, it's just a simple little, no marks, no galling, nothing. I think it worked out pretty good. Did a better job than somebody. Yeah, slacker. So these are the offset dowel pins. These are from Lakewood, but they're identical as the Rub MC ones. I assume the Rub MC manufactures them for Lakewood, or they buy them from Rub MC. But yeah, I was able to, it's pretty obvious where the offset is, but it also seems to line up with this part number here. I'm just going to drop it in, and then I'll clock it once I have the bell housing on. Piece of crap hammer that is kind of laughable, but it's just perfect for some of these little things, this sort of stuff. So, there we go. So it's completely out of focus, isn't it? Son of a. Anyway, there it is. So I'll get all this stuff cleaned up, and then I can put the flywheel back on and the block plate and have at her. So this is with the 7,000 offset Lakewood dowel pins.
Ready? Yeah.
Okay, go. Stop right there. So that's like just under 5. Okay, keep going. That's back. That's back to 0, 1. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So at the highest point, if it goes to 6, divide by 3, divide by 2 gives it 3. So we're within 0 to 5 all day long. Alright, it's Sunday. It's rainy and wet and crap. And today's the day we're gonna really get this quarter panel. I'm just gonna pull it off, punch a bunch of holes in it for the plug welds, and have at it. Alright, well, it's actually 7 days after I made that first video because I didn't have any welding gas. So we're gonna start again and try and weld it on this time. And here it is, we got it all screwed in a couple spots. To hold it, all the gaps are right. The trunk looks good and it opens and closes and sits square, so I'm just going to go around and put the first couple of spot welds in it and see if it doesn't shift or anything. Alright, pretty much done a couple plug welds right around. So down here, a couple in the trunk. There's no screws in the trunk anymore, and a couple up in the window channel. And you got 2 in this roof rail here. I'm going to put a couple more inside it and grind them down, and then fold the top piece over and do the final plug welds for that. I got the post welded back to the frame so that doesn't move. So this lines up nice now, and it's looking good. So I got a bunch of the welding done, but not all of it. A couple spot welds around in the door jamb down the bottom, and a couple up the side. I haven't ground anything down yet. I was able to get, most importantly, this top seam that I'm gonna have to lead. I was able to get some really thin plug welds in this side to the inner frame, and then I started rolling this down and then getting some plug welds in there, and then I'm gonna go the whole way, and then so this is really low, so I'll be able to grind that and then fill that with the lead. A couple in the window seal, and then down in the trunk rail is, of course there's no light here, but the trunk rail is done and that's in. Everything lines up. So the wheel arch, like every 3rd or 4th right around, and then around the bumper area, and the new drop-off panel, still a few to go, but pretty good so far, and so feeling stoked about it. Everything lines up nice. I'm still planning on having to cut this here and roll it back, but so it'll only be this top amount, so then I can cut it, roll it back, so this gap will stay consistent. But it's a huge step as far as I'm concerned. I'm really stoked with it. It's sitting in. This catches in the light bad. It's actually just weld through primer overspray that I had on the bottom, so that's cool. Everything's good there. That looks good. Something I did last weekend that I never did, I just seam sealed the cowl with some gray sealer the whole way along, so just another little small task to get done, but otherwise it's really coming together. So hopefully this week, if I'm able to get an hour here and there after work at night, I'll be able to get the thing back on the wheels, or at least get the wheel arch done and get it back, and then get everything ground down, and really feel like I can start moving on it then, because this has been a long time. It's a slow process, And then also bell housing's all dialed in and torqued, no problems there. So whenever I get the clutch, I guess that's the next step with that. But I'm probably not going to get the clutch straight away. I'm just going to put the tranny back in, and then I can drop it in the motor, in the frame, and then start doing the trans tunnel. So as soon as this quarter's fully on, that's my next step. And oh, and the other thing, I want to make sure that the body's completely aligned on the frame. I know there are the factory dowel pin alignments, and originally when I dropped this body on, it was just to get it off the rotisserie, so I never correctly aligned it. So over here, which you won't be able to see because I have no light, but basically between, I'm not even going to bother with it, but between the frame and the body mounts, there's probably an 1/8 inch unsquare. So once that quarter's fully on, then I'll lift the body again just enough to loosen it all, so I can square it with the factory pilot hole mounts that are either side of the front body bushings, and then drop it down, and that'll be square. And then I'll know I can start working on the front sheet metal, because I don't want to start on the front without the body being square to the frame, because it'll mess everything up. So, but yeah, really stoked with this weekend's progress, even though it was a short amount of time I had out here. It's coming together. It's going to be cool. All right, cheers.